entirety of culinary school. Holy crap, today was so much fun and again, so much information and just really learning a lot. What was something that was really interesting that we learned was going straight to this was we actually took our carrots scraps and made a carrot stock out of that. We also interestingly tried to glaze without butter and sugar. So the way we learned it is butter and sugar and glazing that and kind of cooking the vegetable through. This time we couldn't use the butter and sugar. Instead, we had to use the carrot stock with a little bit of honey to make that glaze. Very interesting, and thinking about food in a very different way. That was really, really exciting. Yeah, and again, making goulash from the veal cut. So I think it was like a veal, I want to say chuck. Does veal have chuck? I'm not sure. Yeah, definitely made that, and then also made another rice pilaf. It's very, very important to continue to make rice pilaf and practice this technique. This is something that just needs to be practiced over and over again. It's something that is a very, very important thing in your culinary career is to make rice pilaf. So learning how to make that and practice that today, that was a lot of fun. So without further ado, or let me just show you first how we had to tourne our potatoes and our turnips and also our carrots. So I had to tourne those. Mine did not come out as pretty as his. Obviously, he's been doing tournes for years. I'm so embarrassed to show you mine because they're not quite at the level of a professional chefs. And a lot of kids in my class, again, have way better tournes than I have. And you guys have seen that image that I was showing you guys, me working, trying to work on my tournes. I think I did like something along the lines of 40 or 30 or 40 the other night, and really trying to hone it in, but it's just not quite there yet. And it's just something that I just need to take time, need to continue to practice, need to continue to stay head down and make sure that I'm doing the right things. So just keeping practicing and keep going and making sure that I am just consistent with it. This is how my goulash turned out. Again, it's like a stew. It's like a braised stew. So this was cooking for about an hour and a half. One big feedback that chef gave me was my cuts and really making sure that the goulash was fit in a fork. Mine were like really big size chunks, and I was so used to making big size chunks for a braise. But for this, just make sure that the portions are a little bit, the cuts are a bit smaller so that they fit in a fork. I did get some nice feedback on the plating. Also, because the large piece of meat, the piece of meat was too large, it didn't quite get as tender as you would like it. If it was much smaller, it would get tender. I tasted my goulash as well in the end, and even though I seasoned it, I think it could have used a little bit more salt. So making sure again that seasoning is tip-top shape, in really good shape. So working on the size of the cut, working on my tournes, some very inconsistent tournes compared to his tournes. Again, still need a lot of work, and I have to take that on and acknowledge that. And so that's just something that I need to work on, and I definitely will. Took home some potatoes, bought some sack of potatoes. So that's something that I'll be working on, but I like the plating. Personally, I like the plating because I did it, but yeah, I really liked it. Again, the size of the cuts, it was pretty tender. I brought some home and ate it. Pretty tender, but not just a little. It needed a little bit more time, and if it was smaller, it would cook down faster. So that's why he commented on the cuts and the seasoning there. I also I think it's worth noting the rice. I didn't get feedback on the rice. I don't know if it was overcooked or undercooked. I definitely don't think it was undercooked. I don't know if it was too much liquid or something, but to me, it wasn't perfect rice. It was closer to sushi rice than rice pilaf, which needed to grain apart a little bit. But yeah, definitely can still practice a rice. But overall today, spent a lot of time cutting the potatoes, glazing these. So these are glazed carrots and glazed turnip. And then I also added the tournée potatoes into the stew so that I didn't have to worry about it. But glazed the turnip and the carrots. So again, glazed it in the carrot stock that we made, and then also with some honey. Again, so interesting. I can't talk about that enough, how interesting that is. This new chef is very focused on vegetable cookery, as he should be. He's had a lot of experiences in kitchens where a huge emphasis on vegetables. And frankly, he's made the point time and time again that, vegetables make up half, if not most, of the dish. So if you fail on vegetables, you fail on the dish, period. You should put as much focus on the vegetables as you do the protein. So definitely, again, some interesting things to me was making stock from our carrot scraps. Just something that I'll never forget about. And also looking forward to doing it again with English peas, with fennel stock, and with corn stock. So I'm just super excited. Also did some research on this chef named Yotam Ottolenghi. I'm probably pronouncing that and butchering that incorrectly, but did some research on him. He's he's been quoted by Bon Appetit as someone who has changed the way America or the world has looked at and eaten vegetables. So big compliments from him. I looked at some of his recipes. He had some very interesting recipes. Looked at his bio. He was a chemist, I believe, and then decided to go to culinary school, and and also worked some time as a pastry chef. Really interesting guy. If you guys are really interested in vegetable cookery and just learning up about different chefs, he's someone that is really interesting and really fascinating. He's got multiple cookbooks on not only vegetables but pastry and different things like that, and Mediterranean cooking. So someone to definitely be aware of. I can't wait to dive more into his recipes and sort of just be on his, follow him on Instagram and things like that, and just educate myself on the different things and different chefs and the different recipes and different techniques out there. So very, again, really fun class. Very excited to be where I am. I'm still pinching myself. I can't 30 days into culinary school, and I still think, in the middle of class, I'm just like, I can't believe I'm spending the time to make goulash, to make rice pilaf, to make carrot stock and glaze the carrots. These are things like I'm living a dream, and I'm so lucky to be where I am. It's not easy. By no means is it easy. And every day I'm stressed out because I want things to be right. I want things to be perfect, and I want to do a good job. I'm stressed out about that. And I want to be up there, in terms of being the best. And obviously you learn early and often that you're not going to be the best, but you try anyway. And there's no feeling like it. There really isn't. I definitely need to work on sleep and taking care of myself, because I'm looking at some of the data that I hopefully will make a video of this down the road, looking at some of my sleep data, and it's not looking good and healthy, and I'm a big believer in sleep and rest. So I need to make some changes moving forward if I want to take care of myself. And yeah, just moving forward, practicing more, practicing every day, and just trying to get better and trying to be a better cook than I was yesterday. With that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, all 2 or 3 of you. I'll be lucky if 3 people watch this, but thanks guys, and I really appreciate it. See you guys next time. Bye.